Here's a story about an advertiser, a marketer that kind of did things right to begin with. They had the insight to go and run an incrementality test, and they did an incrementality test in platform. And it turns out that the answer that they got is that for every dollar that they were seeing in the platform in terms of revenue, they were going to take credit for 70 cents of it. So they had a 70 cents on the dollar kind of factor. And they proceeded then with confidence, this new confidence, to increase their spend dramatically. And this spend kept going up and kept going up and kept going up. Now we're talking about almost 8 times as much spend. And unfortunately for them, they did not revisit the incrementality test that they ran. They continued to assume that they would make 70 cents on the dollar, even at the new spend levels. What they did in this case was completely ignore the law of diminishing returns. And they took an incrementality test that was from a point in time, and they assumed that the spend would scale linearly. So that assumption kind of implies as you spend more money, you're still going to get a similar amount of quality placements, a similar amount of targeting of quality consumers for these ads. And well, as we might suspect, that's just not true. So what happened was they grown this channel to their second largest channel. It's the only media plan that I've seen OTT as the second largest channel. And when they had the good insight to go ahead and test this in LiftLab and run a diminishing returns experiment on it. And our forecast was actually that they could cut likely about 80% of their spend, and they would see maybe a 1% change in revenue. So these are now tens of millions of dollars we're talking about. And they proceeded with the 50% cut in spend. And we asked them on their side, and could they corroborate what we were seeing? And their answer was, yeah, they didn't see any impact on revenue. That all of that was very low efficiency media that they were buying. They proceeded to cut again, another 30%. So now we're talking an 80% drop. And now they've got a happy channel. They're able to fund this channel profitably. The answer wasn't to exit the channel. The answer was find that point where the revenue coming and the profit coming from an extra dollar investment outweighs the investment. So I think it's imperative, if you're not going to try to run diminishing returns experiments, at least owe it to yourself to run a whole lot more incrementality tests. If you're going to do simple incrementality tests, you need to be embracing that and be able to run enough of them to understand when you make large changes in spend or something else changes in the ad ecosystem, that you don't have static results from a prior experiment.